happy Saturday. I hope you are well wherever you are and that you are settled in to join us for the next hour. If you can stay that long, we'd love to have you with us. I am back after the little break last week, so we've got tons and tons and tons to get through over the next little while. We've been here all this morning kind of preparing things for both this live and just little bits and pieces of new things to be added to the website during the week. There are 2 weeks worth of new arrivals to talk to you about, and we have loads and loads of questions that you've submitted too. Thank you. So I will say, if you haven't joined us before, basically that's what this is all about. We get together on a Saturday afternoon. I have a little chat with you all. You can ask questions as we go through as well, and I'll try to get to as many of those as possible. It's just a little add-on to the services that we have, so we can show you some things up close. I know online shopping can be a little tedious sometimes, and it's just nicer to get to interact one-on-one as well. So I have tons to show you. Hang on for shawl wearing demos, because someone asked how I was wearing my Clapatee shawl there last week. Hold it on for kind of an update on the Hilya Mitts knit along, just to show you what I've been doing and all the fun we've been having. I have my computer here in front of me because the printer's not working, so I need to get my notes off of that. We are going to talk about cocoa knits, about hide and hammer, about the CaMaRose trunk show as well. I'm going to show you a few bits out of that, and I'm going to save a few for next week as well, so we're not doing it all too much in one go. We're going to talk about this beautiful new sample that Joy finished, and we are going to cover lots of pattern queries and things like that. So thank you for joining us, and I am going to get started, I think, with the demo of my shawl, because then I can get that out of the way. And I'm going to show you a 7 skein fade, or try to show you a 7 skein fade, because I've got to try and hold it all up in my arms. So number one, I had this on because I was really cold 2 weeks ago, and someone asked about how I had worn it, or how I had put it on. So it is a big parallelogram of a shawl. I'm not sure you can really see that it is a parallelogram, but it goes like that. It's a giant thing. And what I had done, and I hope I can replicate it now, is just thrown it around my neck like a regular scarf, just halfway point, folded over. I had tucked one end, sounds like I know what I'm doing, but really I don't. I had tucked one end over and through in there, and then I had gotten one corner, just the corner here, and tucked that up. And it sort of looked more like a triangular shawl. That's not quite it, but that's how I had worn the Clapatee. So somebody asked, and I said I'd really better do that as a demonstration rather than try to describe it in words. There you go, I hope that helped. I will pop that out of the way. Okay, and then, hello to everybody who's joining us. Thank you for coming along. I hope you have a good project in front of you as well. Right, one of the questions for this week was, I would love to see a 7 skein fade, okay? We've been talking a lot about fades recently, in Tara using the colour Trench, which is Kelly Casey's favourite colour right now. Okay, so this is a little bit of a challenge. We could do a sort of a 5 skein fade with Trench at the end, but ideally we wanted to kind of get this colour here at the end if we could, okay? Now there wasn't one in the range at the moment, so we decided to go a bit brighter and pick up this guy here, which is featured in Occur, but Occur in Clarendon. So I hope that's okay in the rules of your project, because Occur on the, well, we just didn't have it actually, so, but it would work. So it kind of, if we want to go backwards, we start with Occur into Trench, like that, and then picked up in Myrtle, those greys. I'm not going to be able to hold all of these in one go. Then we went into Utopia. We're going to start working into some pinky pinks, which became, and I'm going to put some skeins down now, 4 at a time, which went into Oasis. So Trench, Myrtle, Utopia, Oasis. Polarize. It was tough enough to get this up to 7 skeins, but we'll do it. Polarize there, and then that went into Petrol at the end. So I'll try and take a photograph after this and put it up on stories so you can see, or even a short video. Actually, I like to do that where it's like scanning over the top of the skeins so you can see the progression. And I'll tag you in it, Kelly Casey, and see what you think about that. So that was 7 skeins of those things. It's fun to do those. I like them. We'll keep them aside. Yeah, I think you like them too. We got lots of hearts. Yes. Okay. What else are we gonna do? CaMaRose trunk show. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you about the jumper that I'm wearing because that's straight up. But then I'm going to feature this week in the CaMaRose trunk show. I'm going to show you off the baby garments that we got because there was so many beautiful baby garments that came in. And then next week we'll cover more of the adult garments, like that beauty up there. And this one that I'm wearing, and also baby blankets as well, because Trine from CaMaRose was kind enough to send us a lovely box full of samples of gorgeous things that I know will be very inspiring for you guys. So this is the basic sweater, my size, which we have the pattern up on the website for that by itself, not as a kit at the moment. So basic sweater, my size. It's a like introduction to top down knitting sweater, with these lovely textured rounds with garter stitch. So very, very simple, very straightforward. Loving on all of everything lately is deep cuffs like that. I think they are the snuggliest and coziest things because you can pull them up. But as far as detailing technique and stuff, very straightforward, very quick to do. And we do have in the natural shades of Sniff Nook. These two colours at the moment, they're not the exact same ones, but we should have this shade coming in probably the week after next. CaMaRose are just restocking it at the moment, and then we'll get our hands on loads of that. So yeah, sorry, I've got a tag here, but I didn't want to take it off. So it's absolutely gorgeous, so cozy, really lightweight though as well, so it's not I'm not feeling kind of weighed down or too kind of, some bulky sweaters you can just feel like you've got too thick of fabric on, but this is perfect. So absolutely gorgeous, and for anybody who wants to make their first top down knit, or even try to make this, like it's it just because it's easy doesn't mean you can't do it. So that's that one. And I will show you there's a cute little kid's equivalent. Look. So that is, just a basic sweater, age 1 to 3 size. And if you want to do something on a smaller scale, that would be absolutely perfect. And again, it's the Sniff, I can't pronounce it, Sniff Nook yarn, which means snowflake. And it's a gorgeous. So that is that. We'll mix it up. I'll do another question and then we'll add in some more bits. Okay. We did have a question, and this is probably two weeks old or so. Is the jumper in the back available as a kit? This one here or that one there? So this one we've just added as a kit to the website about half an hour ago. So yes, and we've broken down all the colours and everything, and I'll talk about that before we finish, don't let me forget, because there's a few hints and tips. Joy made that and she had that. In the blue, not yet. The pattern is available on Ravelry. It is called The Beautiful Smok Sweater by Trine Bertelsen, but if you look up CaMaRose patterns on Ravelry, you'll find that there. And it holds 2 strands together of the Midnatsal yarn. So you're knitting 2 strands together all the way through, and it's gorgeous, and I'll feature more of that next week as well. So if you want to see it up close, we'll do that next week. You're very welcome. No problem. Right, so I'm out of practice. So I am. One of the questions we had recently was about sourcing nice Aran sweaters, so like Aran style rather than knitting with Aran thickness of yarn. And on a really general basis, what we want to say is, if you're looking for kind of modern, contemporary, stylish women's Aran sweaters, we'd really recommend Thea Coleman's designs on Ravelry. She's got some beautiful baby cocktails, I think is her name. Just beautiful fitted things, beautiful all over cables. Hoki Locatelli as well does some stunning like full length cardigans and things all over cables, absolutely beautiful, like, or 3/4 length or like tunic length. They're beautiful. And for men, Canton Tweed has got a huge number of as Sarah has written down for me, Aaron E patterns. So unfortunately, not that many sources from Irish designers at the moment. So I'm going to petition Carol, I think, to make a contemporary Irish knits book too, or something. Who's with me? Who's going to start a poll or a petition to get Carol on that? That'd be good. Okay, this came in. Look at the shine. I love it. Strands of Joy. Yes, that's Sarah laughing at me. Irony. So Strands of Joy arrived in during the week. We've just got a couple of copies, a few copies left from our first shipment of it, because a good number, or most of them were pre-ordered. A few more on the way, but not sure how long it's going to take for them to get here. And a sneak peek inside. I'm going to show you like 3 pages, okay? There's so many beautiful things in here. But speaking of, there was the long length cozy cardigans. Now, that guy just there. So we have a class coming up. It's a month from now. It is Saturday the 27th of March, and it is a stranded colourwork class with Alex Bird that has a few places left in that as well. But this would be, I mean, as far as first colourwork on a chunky, super long, gorgeous cozy cardigan, that's really, really straightforward. So that's one of the first things. I know some people were asking about the book, about whether it was suited for kind of people introducing themselves to colourwork, and it definitely would be. So you get started with that, and then you can get into more detail, and you can get a bit more adventurous. So that's just another feature. Which is Rose Hip is the name of that pattern there. And let's see. Oh, how cozy is this? Hang on, try and get the best picture. Look at this guy. Lovely, lightweight, cozy, and a very non-traditional style, I think, for a colourwork sweater as well. You see the way it's like kicked out at the bottom, and I think everybody associates colourwork sweaters with the round yoke, which it doesn't always suit everybody's body shape, their shoulders and things like that. So this is absolutely gorgeous, the way it goes up into a loose cowl neck, and really floaty and flattering. I like that a lot. Mohair fudge, so good. Yeah, we're really delighted with this book. It's been on pre-order for a while. And the quality of it, actually just the feel of the book itself, is amazing. So absolutely one that you could have an awful lot of fun with, and it just would really nice on your coffee table as well. So that's that. That was for knitting. Hang on. Knitting Pink was asking for a quick look at that, so I hope that helped. And I wanted to tell you, I'll sneak in like other things that have come in. We did finally get our coconuts delivery this week. Yes. We've been waiting a little while. Brexit. Anyway, we've gone through this. But yes, we have craft caddies, which are fabulous. We have the roll counters and the accessory rolls, and the maker's keeps and all this sort of fun stuff. The knitter's blocks came in, and the sweater care kits as well. And there was definitely a few people that were waiting on those. So jump on if you want to grab any of those. And we've got the Sweater Workshop book back in stock as well. Can we keep a copy? Ash, we better keep one for Patricia Carolyn Byrne of Strands of Joy. We'll reserve one for you now, Patricia, okay? Don't do that for everybody. Special case. Okay, I'm joking. So coconuts came in, that was great. We did get our Malabrigo delivery in as well, a little bit smaller than we were hoping that it would be, so there's more on the way. We're just kind of restricted to what we could get from them, from their warehouse at the time. So that's that. I think somebody said, yarn subs for that. Oh, that's on my list. Oh, great. Okay, Heliana, is that the mohair fudge one that you were looking for yarn subs for? You'll have to give me time to look at that. We'll try and prepare it ahead of time for next Saturday, if that's okay. Because I do really like that one. So I'd like to take a look around at what would be suitable as well. Okay, quick look at Strands of Joy. We did the Arons. What else? yes, the stranded colourwork class, I let you guys all know about that. Wendy Beachcomber was wondering, do we ship to the UK? The answer is yes. We had suspended it for a little while, but we're back in action now. The postage rates to the UK a little higher than they were before, but that's just down to the paperwork and everything that has to be done. And also we had somebody else from the north of Ireland wondering too if we're shipping there, and yes, we are. That's no problem. And that's still the $5.95 rate to the north. So all back in action, and hopefully smooth runnings from now on. Fingers crossed. Now, the knitting class Dublin was saying she would like to see the Darney range up close, which I can do for you, and it gives me a nice little segue into the Hilda Mitts knit along as well. Let's see. If you were looking at my Instagram stories, why is that bit doing that? Okay. You will know that this guy was really misbehaving on me. So I don't know what you see there, if it's red or pink, but it is a beautiful fuchsia pink. And this is Darney, but I'm not going to use that as the example to show. So Darney is a fingering weight lamb's wool tweed yarn from our friends in Studio Donegal. It comes in lots of beautiful shades, and we are a very big fan of it. So it is 2-ply construction, and I don't know whether you can see that, 2-ply construction, and loads and loads of meters in it. It goes a million miles. I will take that quick question, how do I get my skeins wound into balls during lockdown? You leave us a note in the comments section of your order and just say, please and thank you, would you mind? And we'll do that for you. It'll just, your order won't dispatch as quickly as it would otherwise, but when it does arrive, it will be wound for you. So we have to kind of put it into the queue for that. But that is no problem, we will still do that. And to show you, Darney worked up. This is my almost finished first mitt for the, out of the way, for the Hilda knit along. Less air miles, yes. With iKnit 7, we've been powering away. We had our Zoom cast on party last Friday a week ago. Yeah, Friday a week ago, which was such good fun. There was loads and loads of laughs and stuff going on then. And the Facebook group has been full of really good tips. I changed how I do my corrugated rib, thanks to Millie from Tribe Yarns. She is, so from one end to the other, I've changed that. And then people are customizing their thumb holes, because in the original pattern, it is, it's like a buttonhole thumb hole. And I'm just going to add a couple of rows here. I've done a sort of an afterthought. I don't even remember the fetching mitts from Knitty. There was a technique where you knit a few rows, or you knit a few stitches, in this case 10 stitches with a spare yarn, and then you go back over and you knit it with the main yarn again, and then you unravel it and put your stitches back up onto magic loop here and pick up one here and here in the gap, and then I'm going to make a little thumb. And I might put some corrugated rib on it too. That's that. The chair method, yes, there is a video. If you have skeins at home that you've already received from us, yeah, thank you, Eliana. There, if you just search winding yarn at home, there's a blog post that links to a video on our YouTube channel about how to make a centre pull ball, and hopefully that would, the winding over the back of two chairs, if you don't have a willing victim to stand there like this with your skein. So yeah, I think that's kind of breaks down for something like Darney. It would take a little while, so just make sure you're not going to get interrupted. Or actually it's fine actually, if it's over the back of two chairs, you can always come back to it, it's fine. Nice segue too, actually, to somebody was asking that if they were going to invest in a Swift. Let's see who asked. What size Swift would you recommend? So that was Betsy Gray Crafts was asking. We have upstairs the 19 inch wooden Swift. There's two sizes on our website. There's a 14 and a 19 inch. We have the 19, it fits every skein. It'll expand, it'll do 14 once, it'll do 19 once. You'd probably be okay with the 14-inch, but I think if you're going to invest in something like that, you're just going to make sure with the 19-inch that you can deal with any size skein. So that's what I would recommend just for pure longevity, is that size. Hand wine. Finding it therapeutic. I do too, actually. I think we were talking about this a little bit in the Knit Along group as well, that it kind of, think of it as a first date with your yarn. You're sort of getting to know how it behaves and getting used to the feel of it and everything like that. So I don't think that I'd feel super soothed by a 1,000-meter skein of lace weight, but yeah, a little bit of hand winding is quite satisfying, and especially when you make that sort of, it's like the traditional cartoon version of a ball of yarn that comes out of it. Do you know, what you got to wind one way, the other way. So yeah, don't rule it out. Thanks, Sarah's catching some of the questions there for me. Thank you. Yes, so the beautiful Smok sweater is that one there, and the basic sweater my size is this one here. Okay, what do we got? So Strands Joy was done, Darnie up close, and Merino cotton. I'll do one more question and then I'll show you some more baby knits from CaMaRose. So someone wanted to see the Catia Merino cotton up close. Here we go. So we'll try and see if we got the texture of that. It is a chainette construction. So it's the merino fibers are blown into a little tiny like elongated net of cotton. But it just has this beautiful halo. So when they released it first, it came out in these lovely pastel shades, and then they introduced a few brighter ones. These are just examples. There's a few more obviously on the website. So you can see that's got the white cotton thread, and then they introduced these ones that almost look metallic, but they're not, and that's with actually, I think that cotton thread is coloured and it's black loose fibres blown through. But this yarn got an absolutely spectacular review on, I don't know if anybody reads Clara Park's Knitters reviews, and when it was released, about 6 months after we first had it, there was an amazing review from her just about how brilliant it is. And I agree. I made a little baby hat out of it, was the only thing, but I really enjoyed using it. So that is it up close. Loads of colours. It's the one that Lisa's wearing. I think a few more questions. Yeah, I like this. And it's tag, sorry. Okay. So we did Darnie. I'm adding to my big black basket of stuff. Okay, so the next featured item in the CaMaRose trunk show, I'm going to take a few nice pictures of these in the next little while, this is another baby sweater or kid sweater called the Viggo Sweater, Viggo, and it's made from CaMaRose Yaku, which is 100% superwash merino wool, so really suitable for babies and young kids, and it is 100% merino wool, 4-ply, so a little bit of patience, but I just love the texture of that stitch, and it's a real rich bronzy gold color, so very gender neutral as well. It'd be beautiful with a little grey pair of little joggers or something like that. So it's the Viggo sweater, and then let's see, more cuddles. Look, this is just, it's a jacket really, okay, and it is made in Snifnuk again. It is the Dreamy Cardigan Mini, which is fab because there's also a Dreamy Cardigan our size, with the lovely little pocket detail and everything. I'll try and hold it back here so you can see a bit more. So a very simple squishy rib, Fishman's rib, brioche style, and I just want to cuddle. You'd cuddle this, never even mind if there was a baba in it, but obviously that'd be good. And the same design, but this time, you see, yes, three strands of midnight sol held together. So we're all about the multi-stranded projects here too at the moment. So, okay, you might make it in this color for Patrick's Day, but it is 3 strands of this really fine one. So it just means, like, don't be limited by when you look at thin yarns and kind of go, I can only do that with, you know, tiny needles or whatever. No, 3 strands and you make this absolutely beautiful, cozy and warm little cardie. Keep now. So those guys, yeah, the dreamy cardigan mini. And again, all of the CaMaRose patterns that are available in English are on Ravelry, and we have a couple of them at the moment. We're expanding the range that are available in print to buy from us as well. So love that. I have a new niece coming on the way, but she is going to be living in California. So probably something more like this rather than the super chunky cardigans. So this is the last one for this week from the CaMaRose Trunk Show, and it is the Carl and Emile's Undershirt. So it's pattern number 27, and it's from the, I'm going to say this, Ecologisk Summer Old. So a really traditional envelope neckline, which is very sweet. The little stripes are adorable. I think most of these are, yes, knit in the round. There's no seams there. Probably knit in the round up to the armholes, I would say. The Summer Old is an organic cotton and merino yarn, and it is soft. It's not the softest of baby yarns that we have, but definitely on the washing it does soften up nicely. And but if you wanted to go super soft, the same pattern could be made in CaMaRose Yaku, which is the 100% merino wool. Very good. What colours are these? Ooh, good question. Where's my Yaku? I would say, oh yeah, there's the natural shade of Yaku, which we have to get in, and that should be coming in the next while. So it's like 1003. And I think, one second. No, it was wrong. It's a bit too pinky, I think. But I'll get the details for you afterwards and let you know. That's okay. So that's that one. So we do have a whole bunch more to show you, but I don't want to take up the whole of today with that. And I will also be sharing pictures of the whole trunk show just through social media posts and stuff over the next little while. So I love it wearing the pale blue sweater. Lots of people loving the sweaters, yeah. So all the details are there. This is my basic sweater, and this is the beautiful Smok sweater, and we will make sure to get all of the information out to you guys, even the newsletters, all that sort of stuff. So it's not a one-time thing. We'll be sharing the information again. So and you can always message us if you need any follow-up details as well. Thank you. Okay, what else are we gonna do? A few more questions. Oh, tired today. Someone wanted to know about the birthdays last week, actually. Yeah, okay. We had 2 birthdays in our house, and it was my son's 7th birthday, so he's delighted with himself. He's super big and grown up now, and can pour his own milk at the table. I think he should have been able to do that before now, but and then my husband was 40. So he's less happy about that situation. But and the cake that we made was chocolate biscuit cake, because that's what the 7-year-old likes, and he did have to share with the 40-year-old their cake. We didn't end up making a second one, but so no, it was lovely. We had, like, it was lovely as a lockdown birthday could be, and at least I suppose there was 2 of them celebrating as well, so it made it even more fun. So so that was last week's birthdays, and I'm not too far behind on the 40 thing, so I'm going to get over that soon. Okay. So, and Heliana, you're wondering about how to preserve your stash, and could we show you some non-superwash? Well, yeah, we've got a good few non-superwashes now. It's something that we've kind of been conscious and trying to expand in the last while. Preserving your stash, I hate to say it, plastic is generally what I try and do. If you're going to have something that is a natural material that you might be concerned about moths or anything getting into, something like lavender sachets, things like that are useful, but I wouldn't be relying on them 100% as a deterrent. I get the giant Ziploc bags from IKEA when IKEA is open and pop things in there, and then they get stored in plastic buckets too as well. So yeah, lavender is helpful. We have I'm not too sure, we've still got some, but some of the lovely lavender sachets from Deborah Toner. The take it out and play with it though every now and again is the thing, because people have this idea about moths, right, that they are drawn to light, and that is a particular type of moth that is, but closed moths are actually drawn to dark and undisturbed locations. Okay, so your best thing to do, and what we do around the shop here all the time, is move things. So get out your stash, play around with it, get familiar with it again. Don't keep them in the dark. Yes. And just keep shifting things around. Now, I wouldn't say that you have to do that like every couple of weeks or anything like that, but just if you're aware that, that cupboard hasn't been touched in a while, or that area might need just a little bit of an investigation, just go and move things around, and that'll really help. So I think that's it. There's a few other comments coming up or suggestions coming up in the comments too, so keep an eye on that. The IKEA tends to be where you can get the really big Ziploc bags, so they're very helpful. And they will hold on to more stuff, but definitely it's a good thing to get out and play in your stash as well, because you'll see kind of colours and different pretty things that you forgot that you had. So that's a good idea. Neem extract, I haven't heard of neem extract, that's a new one. And then non-superwash wool, I'm going to grab some Hamilton for you. We'll have a look at Hamilton is a new one that's non-superwash, and it is an Aran weight. We have Nua Worsted and Nua Sport. We have any of the Studio Nigal yarns are non-superwash. The Ulla number 2 from Townhouse, and I'm sure there's more. Oh no, I have to squish my yarn. Yeah, it is. It's an awful thing. What a chore. So check those yarns out. If there's a particular weight that you're looking for, let us know, and I'll try and see what I can recommend in that. But Hamilton, yes. I don't want to run away from the screen just yet, but if you remind me, I'll bring some of that out later. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you that we got Irish Artisan yarn back in stock. DK Tweed. Just some of the beautiful colours that came in. All that. We've been waiting a little while for these to come back, but this is the beautiful DK Tweed. It is superwash, I'm afraid, and that is now available from the website as well. And we've put together a few more of our Irish yarn taster packs too, so they're gonna mix in with some Ullen yarn and some Townhouse as well. For they've kind of gone down well in the last little while, so we thought you might like a few little taster packs, and they've been done. Hide and Hammer bags. I was like, sorry, I have to try and catch up on all this today. The last 2 weeks we've had loads of great deliveries and stuff. So Hide and Hammer bags came back in. Got nice new wrap labels on those. I think this is a slightly newer colour in the navy with the nude straps. So we've got 4 shades listed on the website now if you want to have a look. And then someone said, okay, this is a more general advice one as well. Could we give advice on mixing hand-dyed skeins to get a nice effect? Okay, so I'm trying to interpret the question. Is it that sometimes when you knit with hand-dyed yarns that are space-dyed, you get pooling or gathering of colours, and that you're trying to avoid that? If that's the case, then your best advice on something that I follow to a degree, if I'm using a hand-dyed yarn, is to knit with 2 rows from one skein and 2 rows from the other. So you wind off your yarn into manageable cakes, obviously. Get an IKEA Ziploc bag or project bag and put like 1 cake in each bag to kind of keep it under control. And then as if you're making a striped sweater, that it's 2 rows and two rows or 2 rounds or 2 rows, 2 rounds, and just keep alternating as you go. I would have done that on, or I would do that on the body of a sweater for sure. On sleeves, I tend to play it a little bit more fast and loose, but there would be some people who would do that, of carry on with the blending all the way through the sleeves. But definitely for the body, it's worth doing, I think. I've seen some kind of rather unfortunate pooling effects, and it's just the nature of hand-dyed yarn. Like, it can happen, and you know, when you're not changing up your stitch count very much, or if you're just working a whole tube, you're just going to get that level of repetition through the skein. A slightly less labor intensive way, if you want to do it, would be to, you know, work most of one skein, and then when you've got about a quarter of it left, you can start doing that blending then, if you didn't want to kind of a line between, because there's a natural variation in hand-dyed yarns, like where one might have more strength of colors, or, you know, more greens versus more reds, or whatever way you've got your mix. So just doing that 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows for that last quarter of one skein, and the first quarter of the next one is a slightly less labor intensive way of just blending. Helical knitting can help when knitting in around. There you go. And do alternate yarns on the yoke of the sweater. I would, yeah. Unless it's something where you're doing a mixed colors anyway. Okay. You ordered the lavender sachets. That's great. You're sorted. But different color effects. I mean, there's ways that you can play with hand-dyed yarns if you're asking more about achieving effects. Like, actually, just on yoked sweaters, is if you're making a solid color sweater and knitting with a hand-dyed yarn as your contrast color in the yoke, then you can get really nice effects and stuff with that. Or doing something like mosaic knitting as well, where you're just showing off the multicolor effect. That can be something really nice to do in mosaic knitting. Oh yeah, knit with one solid color and hold the hand-dyed yarn at the same time. So you're mixing a solid color and a hand-dyed yarn. Yeah, that's a really nice idea as well. Or even adding in the strand of mohair, or a strand of just fluff, like alpaca fluff or whatever, with a hand-dyed yarn as well. That could probably reduce that effect as well. Thanks, Nancy. Okay, so I hope that answered that question. I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to have some water. And okay. Beechwood Knits wanted to get a suggestion of a yarn for a blanket, a Tin Can Knits blanket called Flyaway, for her son who's going off to uni. Exciting. I think I had a look at the pattern, and they say it can be more or less knit on any yarn. It's one of these recipes. So I was going to recommend the Catia Super Merino, because it's your son who's going to uni, and it has to be a kind of easy care but yet soft effect. So there's some really nice colours in Catia Super Merino, and I think it would knit up a little bit quicker as well for a blanket, and it would just be that bit easier for him to care for as well. So that would be my quick recommendation for that. And then yarn switch. And are we restocking larger sizes of Chowgu? Yes. Soon. The suppliers that we have for Chowgu, we order from 2 different places, and they seem to have kind of quite short in stock as well at the moment for themselves. So as soon as those sizes become available, we will get them in. But if there's specific sizes that you are looking for, please let us know, and we'll make sure that will get in on the order then. I know there's a question that I have to get back to somebody on Monday about ordering a chunky set in particular, so bear with me and I will do that. Okay. No, there was somebody. Oh yeah, sorry. We had a question about Tina's Mosaic Crochet Havana shawl and a yarn that we would recommend for that. So on a quick squiz around, I went with. Oh, that's right. This is Rosarius for Invicta. So it comes in these lovely big 150 gram chunky balls, and it has the mixed colors in there. It's a mosaic crochet design, which is really cool, and so I think that some blends and mixes in that range. Whoops, sorry, could work really nicely. They've got some lovely colours in that. So that was just kind of my one quick one that I thought would be most suitable around the shop. We're kind of racing just before going live to get those there. So that is Invicta, and that was a question from Liv's Fads. So if you're out there, I hope that helps. There's a great discussion going on about superwash versus non-superwash in the comments, so I'm just going to leave you guys to that as advice. Right, let's see. Hide and hammer. Okay, I'm going to show you I showed you my Hildremits. I want to show you another little thing that I've been working on, and then I will go and show you Joy's striped sweater, and we will talk about that. This is going to be this hat, the End of Summer hat by Justyna Lorkowska, and I just wanted to give you an idea of how this is the In the Mood Surprise mixed with the Samia or Samilla from BC Garn, and just in case it's useful, talk about why I haven't knit the rib first. So I have started off this with a provisional cast on and just gone straight into the colour work. I'm a little disappointed that the contrast is not stronger in this section here, so I'm going to carry on and knit. Ooh, the ball is falling apart a little bit. I'm going to knit a few more repeats of the colour work, because I think I'm nearly at the 5 repeats that she talks about, but I wouldn't mind a bit more slouch and a bit more of the colour contrast going on. But the reason that I went ahead and did a provisional cast on, which, if anybody isn't sure what that is, it's a way of casting on that leaves stitches live. They're held on some spare yarn so that I can pick them up later and work the rib back down from there, and then instead of it being cast on at the bottom, it'll be cast off there. And basically it's just because I want to custom the fit of the hat for accommodating curls. So there's particular styles. If I end up with a beanie hat by accident because my gauge is slightly off or anything like that, it really doesn't suit me at all. So I tend to find that a deep rib and more slouch works well. And it's just a tip for anybody else out there who's got more hair, is to start off with a provisional, and then you can custom fit the length of the rib. And if I have enough yarn, which I hope I do, I'd love to make it a folded back rib too. But I'd like to get it out of the one ball too. So cast off, I might do a sewn cast off, because that's nice and stretchy. Or I could indulge in a tubular bind off if I'm feeling really like I have the time or the inclination to do that. So that was just to kind of throw in a little tip while we're here. Camden Tweed, yes. I have so many notes, I'm not sure how I'm going to get to everything. Canton Tweed was restocked this week, just to let you know that if anybody was interested in the Zweig sweater that I was wearing a little while ago, this colour Briar is now in stock as well. So that's super quick. And let us talk about this guy. Might see if I can bring them over. Hang on. Oh yeah. Okay, well, we're a bit low down, but it's not too bad. So this is the Andrea Maury Stripes sweater. Joy whipped up a sample for us in the past week and a half or something like that. It didn't take very long. And she was telling me, she brought it in this week and she said, Lisa, I was really doubting you. And I was like, oh yeah. She said, I chose the colours. Now, I basically chose the colours inspired by the style of Andrea's own sample. It's a 9 colour striped sweater, and I took a look at what we had and what would work and kind of the themes of each shade, and went from there. So I was fairly confident, but she said she'd gotten to sort of here and went, oh no, this is not working, and then the blue, and then everything else. And as soon as the red came in, that's your Joy's stripe. Yes, it is, Amy. Yeah, and it all started to take shape, and then she realised I was right. So it is knit from the BC Garn Samilla, which is quite like a lightweight DK, can knit as a sport weight or a DK. 160 meters per 50 grams, so loads and loads of yarn in it. And this is the 3rd size. You admitted you were wrong. No, honestly, had I been knitting it and I got this far, I would have been going, oh, I don't know. I would have had that same wobble, okay? So yes, it's your choice, stripe, and it ended up only needing for the 3rd size 1 ball of each colour, okay? But I wanted to show you this tip that the Joy, or I don't think she even thinks it's a tip, but it is. I think it's really useful. Was, okay, colours, 9 colours, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, starting again. When I'm gonna pick up the mannequin. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we should have been going back to this green. Okay, but of course, because the sweater's about to finish, and Joy was trying it on as she goes, this is wobbling all over the place. She just skipped ahead to colour 2, and then colour 3, and then finished with colour 1. Okay, so that's just quite a useful thing to keep an eye out on, or keep an eye on if you are making this top-down sweater, because then you're bordering. Oh God, it's heavy. You're bordering everything at the cuffs end in this colour 1 as well. So we now, thanks to the wonders and the data entry and the calculations of Aisling, have kits only for these 9 colours, okay? We haven't made up, and there's no options for substitutions, okay? She's gonna laugh at me, she's sitting outside. But so you don't have to do the maths. We've done the maths on obviously up until the 3rd size. It's one. I think, no, we added in a second of this one just in case for the 3rd size, I think. But we have them for all 10 sizes, for cropped, for regular length, in these beautiful colours. So if you did want to make your own Joy's striped sweater, you can. I know, we try. Okay, I think that is more or less all we wanted to talk about today. So posting to Northern Ireland, posting the UK, no problem. Not too late to join. If you want the Hiljamits, which I've added 2 new colours of that to the website. Have I just pulled out my needles? I might have. Do it. If you want to join along, that you would still get access to the Facebook group. There's loads of tips and hints and everything there. Anything else? Yeah, loads of new stock, loads of things, and I will be back next week with more questions and slightly less manic, I think. But having 1 week off has just made me completely out of practice. Next week we will also show you more of the CaMaRose trunk show. I'm quite sure there'll be more fun stuff to chat about then as well. But I will jump off. Oh, I think I might get a yes on this one. I haven't done a shop tour of the shelves in a long time, and I think we could do that today. So if I'm trying to think, will I pre-record it or not? Or will I come back on and do another little live? No theories, no answers. Okay, I think it would be nice to go around and do a quick, I mean, I'll do about 20 minutes of running around, and you won't see my face, and I will show you just some of the stuff that's on the shelves. I want to say, actually, because I'm looking at the morning salutation, anybody who got the newsletter during the week and were disappointed if you didn't get any of the colours of the Anchors t-shirt, we have more of that coming in next week too. Yes, please. Okay, you guys win. Give me 10-15 minutes to kind of refresh and to pull cables out of the way, because I've got lights and my computer plugged in and all that, and then I will do a little selective 20-minute run around the shop and show you what is on the shelves right now, because they're looking good. It's nice to show them off. Okay, I will be back in a few minutes, and also back next Saturday. It'd be lovely to see you all then. Thank you for joining as ever, and we'll see you soon.